Can I tell you what? Let me get rid of that vaccine thing. Hold on just a second. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Where is the. Well, I'm going to leave the vaccine thing there because it might be of some use to some people that still haven't pre-registered for vaccination, which goes on this week. But that's not what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is there are so many interesting things to share today. It's not even funny, or at least I think so, because I do. And then, of course, I don't like to say that because then you'll think, oh my God, is he really serious? And then you listen to the things and you might not think they're interesting, but who cares? It's Coffee and Headlines. I have things to share with you this morning. It's June 10th. Good morning. It's Coffee and Headlines, our daily get-together, our live get-together, morning get-together here on Facebook, where we examine headlines. And there's great headlines today. Good headlines, bad headlines, sad headlines, happy headlines. And then there's culture stuff. And that's not even thinking about all the wonderful things that you share with me. So can you tell I'm giddy? We might as well just get started with the news. But first, a few house rules that we always share. If you're new to the broadcast, please don't mind me. I'm just super giddy today. But if you're new, just let us know that you're new. And you can do that by writing the word new in your comments. If you have something important to share, add the letter Q at the beginning to your remark. And I love it. Denise is sitting at Mi Cafe with headphones, enjoying the show. Atta girl. I'm not going to get into the comments just yet. Oh God, I'm so scattered. Let's just do the news. Okay. I'm also scattered because I'm rushing. I was like a minute and a half late today, so please don't mind me. For starters, Bruno Blancas Mercado is the first of our 3 election winners to receive certification from the Electoral College, making him Puerto Vallarta's new federal deputy. As a reminder, the elections that took place this past week were for 3 positions, a federal deputy, a local deputy, and a new mayor for our city. In his first public statement, Blancas said, "We are building a new mindset, a new way to do politics, a new way to incorporate society to Mexico's resurgence." Okay? Well, seriously, once he has been certified and once the other 2 positions are certified, we'll dive into who these individuals are and what they are going to bring to our city. We know for a fact that Bruno Blancas went and met with the people that own shops at the local mercados, and he promised them all kinds of things. But again, we stay away from the promises until the dust settles. Meanwhile, I do want to let you know that votes are still being certified for Luis Alberto Michel, but everything seems to indicate that he will become Puerto Vallarta's new mayor. Again, how things will change, when they will change, and so forth and so on. too early to tell, but we will continue to provide information about this as we can. In a completely different chapter, we have been talking about former Nayarit Governor Roberto Sandoval Castañeda, who was finally apprehended after 8 months of running around the country. And he appeared before a judge this past Tuesday and underwent an interrogation session that lasted well over 12 hours. Why Mexican newspapers insist on covering incriminated people's eyes in photographs when they are well-known public figures is a mystery to me. I know that there's legislation somewhere. I've read about this, about how silly it is that they cover people's eyes, but don't get me started as I don't have any specific information about this. But we'll keep you posted on what happens to our poor governor who spent money that wasn't his and had dealings with organized crime, and now he is paying for his decisions. What can I tell you? Moving on, Health Undersecretary and future ex-husband of mine, Hugo López-Gatell, announced that his task force is switching to a new communications scheme, ending the daily COVID-19 press conferences as of the end of this week. Details of this new scheme have not been announced, but his task force is expected to present a comprehensive recapitulation this evening about everything that the federal government has done to date to combat and control the epidemic. Does this mean it's over? Hell no. So please, I know that you're excited because you can eat hot dogs at Costco again, but it's not over yet. It's not over yet. We're going to wait to see what his team announces next. And now, oh my God, I didn't even tell you what's following in the rest of the news. Well, let it be a surprise. We're going to the weather now, and then we have to talk about Argentina's president and how he, oh gosh, well, anyhow, we're almost there. See, what I love about the news today is there's a little bit of everything. And if at the end of the news, in fact, at the end of the news, please tell me if these news make you as giddy as they make me. And if not, just tell me as well. I won't feel like you threw a mud pie in my face. But today was a day in which I figured, oh my God, they're going to really love this stuff. So if I'm wrong, let me know, because ultimately what we want to do here is to provide you with the news that you're interested in. If the god of mischief can get his own TV show, then surely the god of paper cuts deserves at least a TikTok channel. The god of mischief. Would that be Loki? I don't know. I don't know who our snarky weather is referring to today, but what I do know is that it is 29 degrees already. Feels like 33 degrees. Humidity is at 67%. And for Fahrenheit fans, it is 85 degrees. There's no chance of rain, no chance of rain. And the weather forecast for today is that we're going to have a humid day, high temperature of 32, low temperature of 24. Tomorrow, we can expect a humid day with a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 24. And Saturday, I see a little cloud that indicates it might rain. Humid and partly cloudy through the day, high temperature of 22, low temperature of 25. Our low temperature is increasing. All I know is that last night the air was not moving and I had to invoke my bedroom 2-fan system, which includes having a fan for my ceiling fan, which blows on me, I suppose, but then also having to put another fan in the window so that fresh evening air could come in to my apartment, because it was really, really hot out there. But that's what it is. Thank you for clarifying, Catherine. Loki on Disney Plus. See, I've been reading a lot about Loki, so I figured it must have something to do with him. Now, this next item is so irrelevant, but yet it is so relevant because it gives us a glimpse as to how Mexicans react to certain things. Let me show you the headline. We filed this under what was he thinking? Alberto Fernandez, president of Argentina, became social media trend for muddling words attributed to Mexican writer and Nobel Prize winner Octavio Paz. I give you first the words that Octavio Paz said. Where are my words? No, not that one. Not that one. Oh, I need to switch over to my main view so that I can show you what Octavio Paz. No, well, first I'm going to show you what the president of Argentina said. He said Octavio Paz once wrote that Mexicans came from the Indians, Brazilians from the jungle, but we, Argentinians, we sailed from Europe. That's how we built our society. Well, there are problems here. Problem number one is that that's not what Octavio Paz actually said. Octavio Paz said Mexicans come from the Aztecs, Peruvians from the Incas, and Argentinians from ships. And what Fernandez ended up doing is misquoting Octavio Paz and sort of quoting an Argentinian rock singer named Lito Nebbia. And of course, in Mexico, the phrase ruffled some feathers. And here is what I mean by that. In Mexico, we don't necessarily feel very proud of our Indian heritage. And that is a fact that is very closely tied to socioeconomic classes in Mexico. To say to somebody that we come from the Indians, well, for me, it's a huge sense, it gives me a huge sense of pride and joy. But then you can also insult somebody very easily by calling somebody an Indian. So, needless to say, we all came from Indians, we all came from cavemen. So what's the big difference? But of course, Alberto Fernandez, said what he said, and it sounded like really snooty, and he's being grilled alive in social media. What can I tell you? That is what is happening. I'm glad that Fernando is proud to be an indigenous guy, because so am I, for that matter. But then again, if you get, on my face and you call me an Indian and it sounds like you're really angry, I might take offense on that. So the whole indigenous thing in Mexico, and I wonder if this is the same thing. I think my friend Claude has mentioned something about the indigenous tribes in Canada and how there is some racism there, and it's complicated. That's what I'm going to say. Anyhow, moving right along. Once upon a time, there was gay pride in Puerto Vallarta, and all was well. And then gay pride became commercial, thanks to our lovely friends from Mantamar. And now there's all these other gay prides that are appearing in the neighborhood. And what I mean by neighborhood, I mean Banderas Bay and surrounding areas. Yesterday, we commented something along the lines of the fact that Colonia Versalles, right next to where I live, is having a gay pride event later on this month, and that is going to happen. Details will be forthcoming. But then yesterday afternoon, I learned from my friends in Rincón de Guayabitos, just north of Puerto Vallarta, about an hour, 15 minutes north, that they're having their first gay pride march on Monday, June 28th. Now, this is adorable. It really is, because as much as you have to admire a big city, well-produced, technologically abundant gay pride celebration, there's something very endearing about a small town doing their first gay pride ever. And I'm sure this is going to be gaudy and tacky and wonderful. And when I say gaudy and tacky, I say this in the most loving way. If I get my second shot by then, I'm so much going to this, because it's going to be a lot of fun. We need to support our friends just north of where we are. And in case you want to learn more about this, they have a Facebook page for Gayabitos or Gayabitos. And you can find out more about this event on Facebook. You can follow it and see what the big deal is going to be. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a lot of fun. Now, moving right along, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I've mentioned several times that when it comes to traveling through the region again after vaccination, I'm itching to go back to both Guadalajara and Mazatlán. Well, both cities sent enticing news my way yesterday, or good signs that I should be going sometime in the future. For starters, I came across this Spanish, as in from Spain, feature a video feature on the new aquarium presently being built in Mazatlán. What I didn't know is that once it is finished, it will become the largest aquarium in all of Latin America, and well within our reach, as it takes about 7 to 8 hours to drive to Mazatlán. So I will leave you with the YouTube link, and although the video is in Spanish, the artist's renderings of the project, along with aerial working progress shots, will tell the story rather eloquently. When is this going to be finished? Well, I had first heard that the aquarium would be finished by the end of the year, and then during this video feature, they say that they want to finish it 6 months before the end of the presidency of Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, and that is coming up in 2 years. So when will it be ready? I'm not entirely sure. I was going on the notion that it would be ready sometime this fall, and that I would be able to use that as an excuse to go to Guadalajara. So Brett, our dear friend Brett Jones, who is living in Mazatlán, is here. Please let us know what the deal is. And of course, Brett says, don't forget, we still have our smaller aquario. And I've visited the smaller, well, it's not smaller, it's a beautiful facility, the smaller aquarium in Mazatlán, and it was absolutely beautiful. And now I've told you what kind of news I got from Mazatlán. Then I need to tell you what came from Guadalajara. And this is probably, let's just cut the bullshit. This is the real reason why I am so fucking giddy this morning. Guadalajara gifted me with these news. The Jalisco Philharmonic is resuming concerts at Teatro Degollado a week from today. I am so excited. I am so excited. The orchestra will present the first performance in its home theater after a year of it being closed due to the pandemic. Performances will be, as usual, on Thursday evenings at 8:30 in the evening, and then the same program is repeated at the following Sunday at noon for a matinee. Tickets are now on sale at Ticketmaster, and I'll show you the season in a second. But first, between being able to eat hot dogs at Costco, go to the symphony in Guadalajara, all I really need to feel like we've come back to normal is certified proof that I will find stinky cheese and red wine in the afterlife, and I promise I will go in peace when my time comes. Oh, and tacos al pastor. We have to have tacos al pastor in the afterlife. And now let me show you the program that the symphony is going to be playing. The symphony is going to start with this coming week. They're going to present the overture to the Marriage of Figaro opera by Mozart, symphony by Haydn, and one by Beethoven. The following program includes music by Rossini, Respighi, and Mendelssohn. That would be on Sunday, 27th of June. And then on Thursday, July 1st, and Sunday, July 4th, it's going to be a series of chamber ensembles performing music by John Cage, De La Cruz, Amy Beach, Poulenc Gabrieli, Barbara York, T. Ganch, and Ottolini. And then on my birthday, you know where I'm going to be. On July 8th, which is my birthday, the orchestra will perform music by Mexican composer Moncayo, Chavez, and by Bartok, music for string, percussion, and celesta, a very popular work by Bartok. So I am giddy. All I need is my second shot just to be able to feel confident and go to the big city and enjoy these performances. So I am so hoping that this is coming. But here is a little bit of reality check. And I do believe it's important to keep this in mind. Things are fragile. The National Dance Company, Mexico's National Dance Company, was scheduled to resume indoor performances today at Mexico City's Palace of Fine Arts, but the performances have to be postponed because someone in the company tested positive for COVID-19. And just think for a second of what that means. I mean, it means that every member of each one of these companies, whether it's a dance company or an orchestra, they have to be tested constantly so that we know that it is safe to go see these performances. And it's amazing and sad and a good reality check to appreciate that if one person happens to contract the virus, whether because they were irresponsible or careless or because of bad karma or whatever, one person is all it takes to mess up how well things are going. So we have to be mindful of this. And even though I am so excited about things starting to reopen, that does not mean that I'm going to throw caution to the wind, and I strongly suggest nobody else does. Food for thought. And the last link that I have to share with you today before we get into chit chat mode has to do with this leak theory, whereas the article from Vox from the other day about the COVID-19 conspiracy theory failed to seduce me. This other article published by the Los Angeles Times did grab my attention, and the reason they say we should care about the coronavirus leak theory is not so much to finger point or to point blame at someone or something, a country, a lab, or whatever, but to prevent something like this pandemic from happening again. So this is something that I glanced at, and this is something that I definitely will read. Of course, we see a lot of press in many countries of the world trying to finger point and trying to create a lot of noise about the conspiracy theory, but ultimately, we don't want a pandemic like this to ever happen again. And if something can be found or discovered so that we can prevent this from happening, hell, that would be wonderful. Anyhow, that's the end of the news. And now we're going to take a look at your comments and just see whether I missed my mark or not. For starters, Brett, when I saw you at the top of the broadcast, I got really happy because I figured we have Mazatlán news, and our friend Brett will help us confirm or deny or clarify things that we need to know. I am so glad that you are here. And even though you live in a different country, different city, pardon me, that you find a reason to come back to Coffee and Headlines here in Puerto Vallarta, and I appreciate that very much. Raymond, our favorite baker, is still in Guadalajara. We're sending you
El panadero con el pan, el panadero con el pan.
good vibes. Whatever you're doing in Guadalajara, I assume it's health related, and all I can say is I send you good vibes and much love. Let's see who else is here and hanging out. Alan Shepard booked his flight today to return to PV. Mazel tov. Let's see who else is here. La 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 la. Stephanie's checking in from Tabachines as usual. Wonderful. Lisa writes sound question mark. Love these comments that are so clear. I have no idea what that means, but thank you, Lisa, for reminding us that sound is sound. And I need something for that. Yes, sound is sound. There you go. Let's see who else is here. I haven't been here in weeks. That penis art near the window. It's my penis plant. We haven't talked about my penis plant in a while, and but we'll talk about the penis plant at some point. Yes, that is penis art near the window. It's a beautiful gift that I received from wonderful, wonderful friends. Karen says that is the most wonderful news. Happy, happy, happy. I don't know what that refers to, but I'm so happy that you're happy, happy, happy. Yay. What else do we have? Bum, 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 bum. Good morning from across the river. Langley. Okay. Loki on Disney Plus. We talked about that. Thank you very much for clarifying, Catherine. Tony asks, who is the pending mayor? What party? And Joey answers, Morena party. Michelle, thank you very much for that. Fernando, we talked about this. Proud of being indigenous guy. That makes two of us. And I love David's bottom line. We're all from monkeys. What of it? Thank you very much for that. Let's see what I'm looking at. Denise says, I'm Canadian. We all have a lot of work and healing to do. I like that. I like that. Joey says that Sayulita's having their gay pride this weekend. We talked about it on the telephone yesterday. I tell you, there's gay pride everywhere. Lynn says, I did my thesis on Mexican land reform years ago, and the Mexican indigenous people were so mistreated. Oh, dear. Yes. So much to discuss there. So much to discuss there. Jorge is late because he's hanging out with his mother. Let's see. More comments about indigenous tribes. Thank you very much. It really is. I like news like what the president of Argentina said, because they are good reminders for us to be mindful about these things. Let's see. What else? Lynn says, I've just moved to Cinco de Diciembre. I'll be back there in September. Cinco de Diciembre, otherwise known as 5D. I thought 5D was a bra size. But what do I know? I don't know anything about bras, that's for sure. Yay, the theater will be open. And even though you snuck to Guadalajara without me, Kathleen, I promised you that we would go to Guadalajara together at some point. So we should be going to Guadalajara together at some point. I was thinking that personally feeling sad for nature that would be at the aquarium. You mean like the little fishies that are going to be in that habitat? Well, it's one of those things, Kathleen, in which, yes, we don't want to put sea creatures in an enclosed habitat, but then there's also the educational component of facilities like an aquarium. They help us learn more and appreciate our environment. And that's just my 2 cents on that. Michael says, remember you told me you would take me to Guadalajara to the opera when we are living there? I did say that, and yes, we'll go. Let's see what else. David wants a field trip. Sure, why not? Jorge totally agrees with me. I don't know in what, but it's a good thing. I like agreement. Brett says, I'll keep informed and pass any info I can get. Thank you very much for that, Brett. You are our unofficial Mazatlán correspondent, and we are so happy to have you here. That's not nice. Mazatlán is not a different country. I like Mazatlán. Mazatlán, and I don't know what happened in Mazatlán that did not happen in Jalisco. By building and investing on this ginormous aquarium, the federal government of Mexico, along with the government of the state of Sinaloa, have secured the state and the city's positioning as a tourism destination, something that Puerto Vallarta and Jalisco have failed to do. But that's a complicated topic of conversation. Makes me think of what kind of enormous infrastructure investments Puerto Vallarta would need so that it can continue to be competitive as a tourism destination. But that's the kind of discussion that must be going on at City Hall with the newly elected leaders that we have. And we'll see what happens in the future. Sometimes audio goes out. I think that's what Lisa meant. Interesting. I have not noticed in my level meters that we have audio outages, but if anybody else is having audio outages, please let me know. What is my favorite memory from Guadalajara Philharmonic? Oh, that's easy. And this will take about 5 minutes, so indulge me. When I was a teenager, I must have been like 16 or 17, and I heard Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony for the first time. I was a kid, but I love that music. It was in Mexico City, and it was performed by the Autonomous University Orchestra, the UNAM Philharmonic Orchestra, and it was at Sala Netzahualcoyotl. And a theme from the first movement of that symphony stayed in my mind, and it never left. And in later years, I learned much about this symphony. It became one of my favorite classical pieces. And it wasn't until 2 years ago that I had the opportunity to hear the symphony live again. From age 17 to age 56, I did not have the opportunity to hear this symphony live again, and I saw it advertised, and I told my dear friend Paul from Hotel Mercurio, I said, Paul, I need you to come to Guadalajara with me to hear this work. And I need you to not ask me why. I just need you to be my date. And Paul came, and we went with other friends, and we were sitting at Teatro de Gollado. And I said to Paul, okay, Paul, the last time I heard this piece of music live, I was 17, and I'm going to grab your leg when this particular motif in the symphony comes on. And just know that this motif spoke to me when I was 17, and it continues to speak. It may or may not speak to you, but if it does, I would be so very happy. So the music started, and the performance was magnificent. Ooh, I'm getting goosebumps just remembering this. The performance started, and it was great. And when that motif from the first movement of the symphony came on, I just grabbed onto Paul's leg, and we both wept. It was beautiful. Ooh, I'm getting all excited and teary-eyed just thinking about it. And then after symphony, we went to a very popular restaurant that is near the Teatro de Gollado. It's called La Chata de Guadalajara. We were looking for a late night noche, and Maestro Jesus Medina, the conductor of the orchestra, shows up with his wife and his posse. And I reached out to his table, and I got up and I thanked him for giving me the opportunity to listen to this wonderful piece of music live again. And I said to him, I don't know if life will grant me the gift of hearing this piece of music live again in the future, but thank you for giving me that. And that, Daniel, is my favorite memory from the Guadalajara Philharmonic. Thank you for asking. Chris McIntyre says, hola, first time joining. What a very informative program. Gracias. Welcome, Chris. This is what we do every morning. If you are having your favorite beverage, it's a good thing. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas that you wish to share, please let us know. Stephanie, my audio goes in and out. I hope it's not contagious, seriously, and I hope it's an isolated thing. Check your cables. Let's see what else. Oh, everybody wants to go to Guadalajara. I love it. A road trip. I love it. I think you are going to have to hire a bus for the trip to Guadalajara. Well, it happens, Well, going to Guadalajara is absolutely wonderful. Party bus, Partridge Family style. I love it. Yes. Let's see what else. Big kudos to the people and organizations given the vaccine shot. So organized, was in and out in 30 minutes. Oh, Michael, I am so very happy. Faster than a line than a line at a bank. Absolutely. I am so very happy that people are getting vaccinated. And I had no idea you were that young, Michael. I thought, well, never mind. I'm so glad that you're vaccinated. Audio stalls occasionally, certainly not my doing. It is the nature of internet. I am really sorry about that. Most things are faster than a line at the bank. That's very funny. I love it. Oh, you guys are you guys are all over the place in a good way. I switched from my phone to my iPad and do not have any more stalling. Good. You could combine symphony and tequila tasting for a trip to Guadalajara. Both Cuervo and Herradura have tequila trains. Just saying. Oh, yes, I know about the tequila train, and that's also on my bucket list. It's absolutely luxurious and expensive, but what fun to go on a train and sip tequila. I love it. La Chata, there's one in PV Tocayo. Yes, I believe there's still a Chata in Puerto Vallarta. I'm not sure. It opened and then I haven't heard much of it, but there's definitely a La Chata in Guadalajara. It's a beautiful, popular restaurant where you have to wait in line to get in, and that's just part of the ritual. It is that popular. Hotel Solar de las Animas in Tequila is phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Thank you very much for that recommendation, Dave. Much appreciated. Angelica says, take a few days to go to Guadalajara. Guadalajara is beautiful and a lot to see. I totally agree. Again, all I've been waiting for is for things to open up and to be vaccinated and to feel comfortable to do this. Wow. Just from looking at Tosca with Zubin Mehta conducting, that must have been wonderful. Liz, thank you very much thank you very much for sharing that. I love memories of great concerts, and I have a bunch of those in my memories. Love the broadcast. I listened to it on my first break. Great info. Thank you very much for that, Jeff. And yes, you're absolutely right, Stephanie. Nothing like seeing an opera at the Lincoln Center in New York City. I am very grateful that I had that experience live, and now I'm grateful for the Met Opera broadcasts whenever I get a chance to catch one. I know that the Met is also coming back to live performances later on this fall. So I'm generally in a happy place. And being in a happy place is a great place to wrap up this broadcast. And as always, I thank you for your company. I thank you for enduring me when I get this giddy and scattered. But this was just a bunch of interesting and fun and news to share with everybody. I hope you agree. As always, if you are interested in particular topics that we're not covering, speak up. Let us know. We have a contact form on the website. That you can just get in touch with us through this Facebook page, and that's what we have for today. I hope that today is a beautiful day for you. I know that it's going to be a great day for me, and I hope that between now and tomorrow, you'll stay kind, you'll stay happy, you'll stay healthy, you'll stay healthy. And yes, definitely bring your walking shoes tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to have Walking Wednesday on Friday. Have an awesome day. Ciao.